evening, and welcome to In Rose's Garden. I hope that you can hear me, see me. I'm going to try to go on it on my other thing to make sure that I am live. If I am, could someone just text me and let me know, please? Community. Okay, so, Rosanna, so I am live. I can't get you on Surface Top, which is going to kind of create some issues today. I am actually trying to, let me back up. Welcome to In Rose's Garden. Rosanna Bradford is the host of this channel, and she is an amazing instructor. She had a knee replacement last week, so I have been doing her lives, and anybody who has seen it has known that I've had some technical problems. But I am going to say it, instead of discouraging me, has made me a little bit more determined. This week I decided that I want to do a YouTube thing too. I don't want to do the typical, here's a beautiful design, let's make this. I want to do something for people like me who come into the community, and sometimes we are too afraid to say what we do know or what we don't know. Oh, I just heard the garage door open. Get ready, the dogs are gonna bark. Sorry, I can't help it. My husband was out, he was out helping someone, and it's gonna happen. I just heard the first roof. Gonna ask you to bear with me for a minute. Okay. Silent mode, phone's off. Hi Brandy, hi Rosanna, hi Heather, hi Leanna. I love you, ladies. I love you so much for being on here and supporting me. Rosanna and Heather have known how hesitant I've been about going online. Hi Leah, I'm sorry, didn't see you. I did it for her because she does everything for us. So it kind of made me overcome my fear. We have all, and I've had some huge technical difficulties this week. Poor Heather tried to have me on her show last night to interview me about my jewelry journey. Here comes the hubby. Here comes hubby. Dogs are probably going to bark. But I think he's going to try to keep them silent because he knows I'm online right now. The Joan Rivers of the jewelry community. What is a Joan Rivers of the jewelry community? I will tell you what I would like to do. I enjoyed giving tips this week for marketing. I enjoyed showing different equipment and things that we can use, different pieces. I got a photo box, and it's funny because I had several people in the past say something to me about they liked my pictures. How do you do that? I got a photo box. Billy, we can hear you all in here. Well, we're live on YouTube, so. Although most of them are dog or pet lovers, so they understand. Anyway, he has been excellent this past week. He has managed to keep the dogs quiet, keep the TV down, do everything I asked him to do, so can't ask much more than that. I don't know if any of you went on, I hope you did, Beating Besties last night. Heather was going to interview me, but I have all kinds of technical issues this week. I am currently, and one of the reasons we're doing the show a little bit differently is I'm currently in the middle of trying to clean up my computer, because if I don't, I'm going to have to buy a new one. And the reason for that is I have decided that I am going to do a YouTube thing. I'm not going to sit here and do designs and say this and say that. What I would like to do is, when I first came into the community, I will tell you the very first necklace I made with 20 gauge wire, didn't know any better, beaded all the beads onto it and tried to cut some clasps, and it was really ugly. It was terrible. I was afraid of crimping, didn't want to do that, didn't know if I could. But had the show gone smoothly last night, you would have known the reason why. I didn't enter into it because I wanted to so much as because I needed an outlet. I used to teach dancing, had a knee replacement. Because they took so long to make that decision, it ended up, because I was dancing 20 hours a week, turning into a hip replacement, that turned pretty nasty. So I had to sit in we have a high top table in our kitchen, and I had to sit in one of those chairs, honestly, 18 months. I couldn't sit in a chair, I couldn't sit on a couch, I couldn't sit in a chair. I was not allowed to break 90. I ended up having 9 surgeries on my hip because it kept dislocating and they kept replacing devices. So that's how I originally got into it. I needed an outlet. I needed something to, like, I love music. I love the way dancing made me feel. But I also need a way to express who I am. And couldn't do that anymore through dancing. I really was restricted to one chair in our house. Well, there are 4 around the table. I could have gone to any of them. Hi, Tina. Thank you for being here. Going on the Home Shopping Network cable show. Well, you know what? That's not a bad idea. We have been talking this past week about different ways to do things. I could no longer, when I first went into it, I thought I was going to heal good, I could do this, and I would just do craft shows. Got my vendor license, signed up for things. Then, honestly, during the middle of a craft show with another girl, my hip dislocated. And couldn't do that. So, things have changed. Beading and the beading community have become such an important part of my life. And it's not beading. It's y'all. It's the people. It's the community. I love when we all get together and says, hey, advertise your stuff, advertise somebody else's stuff. We're not in competition with one another. We are a community. We do things together. Only reason I'm doing this show this week is because Rosanna gives so much back to everybody else. I actually overcame my fear and went online because I love her. Maybe that sounds silly to some people. I'm older now. My life is different. And that's why I'm doing it. What do they say? Courage is... forget the saying. But something about fear is fear, but courage is overcoming the fear and doing it anyway. I wouldn't have done it for me. I did it for Rosanna. And like I said, had terrible, terrible technical problems this week. But I'm going to tell you, instead of making me want to not do it, it made me more determined to do it. And I'm currently, our show's going to be a little bit different today because I am updating my computer because if I can't get it right, I'm going to have to get a new one. And oh my God, how much bead money would that cut into? I don't want to do that. Thank you, Rosanna. I love you too. You know I do. So today what we're going to do is I wanted to do a multi-strand necklace. I guess it was kind of my signature at the beginning, and I haven't done it that much lately. And I wanted to do a multi-strand today with the BB box. But to tell you the truth, I bought the companion box. And this is going to sound crazy, but I want that 7-strand leaf connector to complete my necklace. I've never done a 4-strand. I might. She said in that connector there's 7 strands. I've never done more than 3. I was thinking I could do, 3 and space it out, or I could try 4. So I may do that. So I am waiting for that. I did talk to Rosanna. She is willing to let me come on later this week and show you all of that. So today it's kind of just like a mishmash. I wanna cover some of the things, and when I channel, I'm not gonna do here it is, we're gonna make this design, blah 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 blah. We have beautiful content creators for that. You don't need me for that. I just want to educate people as to different things out there. My husband will tell you, probably spent 30 grand on beads and connectors and everything else in the world. And I did it because I didn't know any better. Hello, Tipping Z. You thought using it for a triple strand necklace with the meshes? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. What I'm thinking, if I do a 4-strand, I could do, I'm trying to figure out how to marry the Unikite and the Rhodonite together. I was thinking 2 of the strands are probably going to be very, very, very simple. Using like maybe the crystals here. And some pink crystals which weren't in this box. Again, I don't have a problem using my stash to go with my bargain bead box. I think that's what a stash is for. I know there are a lot of people, and you know what, we got our own mindset. There's a lot of people who think if you're going to put something in the BBB Creative Corner, it needs to be all from that month's box. Well, you know what, that's not really feasible. And I think Lauren would be the first person to tell you that. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Carolyn. Do you prefer to be called Garcia? I never knew that. So said that to me yesterday, so I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. I never want to call somebody by the wrong name. So, anyway, going with that, in this past week, I just want to kind of review, because one of the things I had done this past week was talk about marketing tips. A lot of us, and especially if you've watched me, know that we're technically challenged is a good word. Like I said, it's made me more determined, not less determined. And I have to thank Roseanne and Heather for that because they have been so gracious and so kind. And I look like your neighbor. I have a, what do they call that? A doppelganger? I have a doppelganger out there. I hope she's pretty. I hope she's not as old as me. Anyway, so what I was saying, I loved being on with y'all. I hated the technical problems. I think tomorrow's going to be my last day. I think Roseanne's about to come back. And I think she's ready. I think I love her. I love that she trusted me with this whole thing. But I know her well enough to know that she is totally missing this. So, I had said the other day that we were going to do multi-strand connectors, or do a multi-strand with the bargain bead box. I'm not going to do that, and I'll tell you why. I did buy the companion bundle, and if y'all saw the video and saw it, in the companion bundle, they had a 7-strand connector, which I think was amazing. I've never done more than 3 strands, not going to, but I'm thinking I could do maybe a 4-strand if I did a couple of really small ones. Now, when you do multi-strand necklaces, they tell you that you need to put either your focal at the top or at the bottom. You don't put it in the middle. It's got to be one place or the other. I pull out some multi-strand necklaces. I'm trying to get up in Rose's garden on here so at least I can see. Like I said, my computer is cleaning itself up because I really don't want to go buy a new one. But here we go. Oh, all right. I'm going down. Okay, so there we go. So at least I can see. Oh my God, because it's cleaning itself up, it's giving me problems. All right. So at least I can see what I'm doing. So since I wasn't going to do the multi-strand necklace today, because I am for those components, I wanted to show you a couple of things. Gina Moody, who doesn't know who Gina Moody is of GGC Treasures? I think most of us do. Oh my God, who is on after Beth today? I think it's Heather. And she's saying noon, but at my time, I think that's 2. And that's one of the things when I do a channel, I do want to go ahead and put together a schedule of everybody's things. It is going to be, and like I said, we had talked about it, on the wire, off the hook. Not a design studio. Let's talk about what's going on, what's out there, what things we can do. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern. Yes, Heather will be on. And Heather, I just want to send a shout out to you. You've been amazing trying to help me with technical issues this week. Not computer literate, I just cleaned 40,394 emails from my trash bin. So maybe that was part of the problem. So we're going to go with that. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you a couple of things I started playing with this month's bargain bead box. I will tell you, I have to take the Unite and the pink and separate it. Hi, Kimberly. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to do it separately. In the multi-strand, I will tie them together, but it's going to be strictly with the small ring crystals. But when I first started, people said that multi-strands were something they had a hard time doing. So I wanted to show you some things, mistakes I made, some other things. Before that, I wanted to show you, and God knows with my technical issues this week, hopefully I can. I wanted to show you GGC Treasure Box. She is, I think you probably all know Gina Moody. She has agreed to come on Heather's Sunday night show, Beating Besties, as long as someone helps her with the technical things. Okay. I see that Heather said she wanted to snag one. GGC treasure boxes are the same thing as a BBB companion bundle. If you're not on at the time, and she usually releases them on a Sunday afternoon. She's in Thornton, Colorado. She normally releases on a Sunday afternoon. If you don't get it within half an hour, and even that may be too much, you're not going to get it. It's not a subscription. It's something she puts out, and it is first come, first serve. My content is so rated. Oh, wow. I don't know who that is, but thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. I'm trying to show you all that no matter how scared we are or how bad it can get, we can do it. We are a beating community. I can't go do crafts because of my hip. I'm literate when it's online, but that is something I can learn. But I would like to share every tip, everything I have, because we don't compete with one another. We raise each other up. There are still bags available. Wow, that is the first time I've ever seen that, because her bags go so quick. Like I say, I got both of them. I'm going to turn down in just a minute. But I wanted to review some of the things that I had talked about this past week and go over one more marketing tip with you. Be patient with me. Today I'm relaxed, and after my frustration of last night, I'm not stressing it. I love you ladies. I think a lot of you love me. You know who I am, what I am, and we support one another. So that's it. Anyway, I want to cover those. I want to just show you what she sends out. She sends out, when she does treasure bags, she sends out 2. Rosanna, you never got one? They are worth it. Dorothy, you were waiting on me. Dorothy and I, she and I both got the GGC design boxes this month. She and I are going to do a design together. Gloria and I are going to do a design with the boxes from this month. Don't know how we're going to do it, but I just know I will do it with them. Thank you, girl. You know what? I do love Bethy. When somebody calls me Bethy, I know that they get me and love me. With love, the Rushes said hello. I am not sure I've ever seen you, but welcome. We're happy you're here. I want to review just very quickly some of what I went through last week, and it was marketing tips for those of us who are technically challenged. Last Monday, I'd said something about one of the easiest things you could do, get yourself a little go bag. Not necessarily your purse. I wouldn't recommend this because it's something you want to leave your car. And when you go out to see people or do things, you go to the drive-thru. Put your car, attach different things, make some inexpensive earrings, put your card to it. The lady at McDonald's. Who is going to give her something at the window? But you know what? That's a young girl. That's a girl who helps other people. She'll go tell other people what you did. Okay? That's something you should do. Do it with bakers, with the drive-thru, with your nail place, with hair salons. So do it. Just do it. You will make somebody's day. I was taught a long, long time ago in sales, you need to give before you ask, okay? And a bunch of us are givers. They are cute, aren't they? I do like. I actually got them with a bunch of other things, coffee cups, that type of thing, because I'm going to make a sun catcher for my girlfriend who owns a diner. It's called Joe's Diner, excuse me, at the airport. So my vision is to have a little airplane at the top and then put down like the hamburgers, the hot dogs, the fruit, the coffee. I think they'll love it. Where did I get those burgers? Honestly, I think Dorothy on Temu. I think it was a long time ago. I bought them last year, so I'm not real. Another one I had gotten at the same time, if it's still in here, is like I said, my friend has a diner. Look how cute these are. Probably cost me 25 cents to make. Attached it to a card. Next time you go to a diner for breakfast or something, leave that with your server along with the tip. Your card's there. Put it, if you want to, a little note. Thank you. Okay? That is something you can do that will brighten your day. You can write all off to advertising. And your best source of new business is referrals. You go give somebody something, they'll give back. We also talked about doing ladies only businesses in your area. Look up lady business owners, because I guarantee you they're going to support another small owner. Go to them, talk to them, say, hey, I just want to give you this. It's a sample of what I do. I want to support you. I appreciate that you are doing this. So here's a gift. When you give, you get. It always happens that way. Another thing we had talked about was team building. There are a lot of businesses who do these team building exercises. Right before I had to have my hip replacement, a girlfriend of mine who runs a, what do you call it, aesthetic clinic. They do everything, facelifts, all the stuff. She was thinking about doing a team building thing where I taught them a line dance. You do that with jewelry. Make yourself a flyer. If you're good at making flyers, make a flyer saying, I'll do a jewelry party. I will come do a party at your house. I will teach you things. I will show you. I will do team building experiences. This is all personal. It's not something that you have to be technically savvy to do. You hope you learn how to go live someday. Honey, I've had the worst problems this week, which is one of the reasons I do want to do a, no, I'm not in a bedroom. I do want to do a YouTube channel because I want to show different things. I'm going to tell you something that sounds really stupid. When I first got into it, the first piece I made, I took a piece of 20 gauge wire, a bunch of beads on it, did some kind of weird loop at the end, and that was it. I thought it was gorgeous. It was the ugliest thing that I've ever seen in my life. It is more scary. Well, no, I'm not going to say it's more scary than it is hard to do, because it's been hard to do for me last night. Last night, poor Heather was going to interview me, and my StreamYard just wouldn't allow me access. It cut out on me 3 or 4 times. So, like I said, I'm in the midst of cleaning up the computer, which is why we're still talking up here instead of down there. I have it on my laptop, but it's still cleaning itself up with the 40,394 emails that were in my trash that I never got rid of. Yes, always give gifts to other service people. Rosanna Last year when she was in the hospital, she made gifts for everyone who took care of her. She's doing it again this year. Thank you. I'm glad you think my hutch is beautiful. I do too. One of my favorite pieces of furniture in the whole house. And yes, Dorothy, I know they can be. I'm cleaning out my computer now. I've reached out to someone who is a lot more computer literate than me because I would like to do a channel with you guys. I'm not going to do an everyday channel. I am not going to even promise once a week. But what I want to do is make sure that I bring things to people that we don't normally see. Like I've been surprised when tubing that you can put over things. I've used it on memory wire. It resembles leather. It's something that's good for kids. It's cheap, but a lot of people have never heard it. There are a lot of people who don't know a meter is 39 inches of jewelry, okay? And if you're in the USA. So there are so many things that we can learn. Somebody said something, I think it was Heather last night, said something to me about, well, if I'm going to do a channel like that, maybe I should talk about doing photos. I did get myself a photo box. But I have actually had a lot of people say something about when I take photos and have posted them about they like the things in the background. I have great I'm in my dining room. I have great natural light here because I have a window. And I grab things from around the house and I base it either on the color or the theme, okay? All right, going back to other things that we had talked about for doing last week. One thing that I really think, and I don't, I'm so glad. One thing I don't think we talk about enough is the marketing aspect. I gave several hints last week. If you can weed your way through all of them, great. I am going to do a Facebook thing in Rosanna's channel to kind of review and synopsize all these things. Another suggestion I have for you, do a jewelry party. Remember going to Avon parties or Party Light or whatever? Do a jewelry party. Start out by inviting 10 close friends to your house. Bring them in, sit them down, do what you would do as a presentation. And there's a couple of ways you could do it. You can do it either as a beading jewelry party. If you're gonna do that, then what you should probably do is charge a set price, maybe make something like stretch bracelets, and you help everybody go in through those things, okay? You obviously bring some of your jewelry to sell. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to have a jewelry party. Invite people over. You're supposed to have something sweet and something salty. You don't have to have a ton of things out, but maybe talk about and think about your audience. Are the people who come into your house, are they in their 60s? Are they retired? Are they in their 70s? Are they in their 40s? Do they work? Gear your presentation towards that. There is nothing wrong with letting people know what the trends are, what popular out there, what you're doing. Example, I guess the Pantene color of the year is the white. And I immediately made this. That's something you could wear with any color, anything. Okay? So we have to think about, and once again, I could be sitting here saying, I'm going to do this loop and I'm going to do that loop and we're going to do this design and that design. You get them. You see them. We have Dorothy, we have Randy, we have Heather, we have Rosanna. They all make beautiful things. So let's try to, I want to get the catches. First time I heard the word stash, I thought to myself, is this a jewelry channel or did I reach a dark web drug channel? But again, we are all too embarrassed when we don't know to come say, I don't. So I want to create a channel where those questions are the standard, not the outskirts. I live in South Carolina. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My husband and I moved here from Pennsylvania in 2016. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind moving again because I miss the seasons so bad. I mean, Myrtle Beach is absolutely gorgeous. I would have a beading retreat here, and I think you guys would love it too. But there are no seasons. Fall more than anything else in the world. My daughter lives in New Jersey. She got 20 inches of snow today, or yesterday. I would love to be there. Not snowshoeing, I wouldn't do that, but man, I can throw a mean snowball, so I would love to be there. Who else out there got some snow? You know what, Roseanne, I did. I got, what was it? We got a few inches of snow a few weeks ago. The thing is, the colors on the trees, everything down here, or for the most part, is evergreen. So you don't see, when I used to work in New Jersey and I would drive home to Pennsylvania, there was this one place where you came over a mountain and you went down. It was the foothills to the Poconos. And there were times I would just pull over to the side because the colors of the leaves just fascinated me so much. And to tell you the truth, that's what I do with jewelry. A lot of people say they're interested in textures and colors and all this stuff and how to put things together. I'm not like that. I couldn't do a Randy thing. I couldn't put a bargain bead box and say, oh, I'm just going to use from this box. I have no problem using my stash. That's what it's for. So I have to go outside of that. As I said earlier, I think I was going to do the multi-strand necklace today, but I'm not because my computer is cleaning itself up. Also, because I really want, in the companion bundle, she has a 7-strand connector that I really, really want. I'm a hippie too. You know what? I remember when I was in high school, my favorite outfit, and I was so proud because I worked part-time and I went out and bought for myself, was this pair of light blue huggers, wide legs, of course, with the fitted blouse and the puffy sleeves. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And honestly, I still do. All right, I am going to try to turn down to the matte. One thing that I'm really excited about is that Gina Moody from GGC Treasures has agreed to come on Heather's Sunday night show as long as someone helps her with the technicals part, which is where Heather does better than anybody. So I'm going to try to turn down matte. Bear with me. As I said, I've had issues this week. But I wanted to show you, I got both of the treasure boxes, and I wanted to kind of show them to you. Because frankly, I'm going to use them in the BBB multi-strand things that I do. Okay. Here we go. Okay, hopefully you could see both of them. What I tried to do was take the boxes and put the beads, and I guess if I turn it this way, it's not going to be as easy. I wanted to see both collections together, and then I'll turn them and go through them at a time. But the first one over here is what she calls Storytime Collection Regal Rose Edition. There are a total of like 28 items in this package. Simple math. You take it, it's $45 for the box. If you take it and divide it by the number of items, per item is $1.60. Now, you got to further break it down. Some of those items may have a strand. Could be like we have a 25-inch strand of bicones. So you would take $1.67 and divide it by 25 to see what your cost per bead is. If you ever want to really look at pricing and how to cost out things, I think Rosanna does do a really, really good job at that. Okay? Ladies, please don't. I know that I think Dorothy had said something earlier. Please hit like. This is for Rosanna. This is all for her to keep her going because she does so much for all of us. So there's nothing in this for me, just total love for Rosanna. Yes, this is GGC, Kimberly. So this is the Storytime Regal Rose edition. I moved the green out of the way. I'm going to come back here and I'll show you. She does these, and what I really like is that both of the boxes are very, very similar as far as the beads. They're only different in the color. But the colors that she gave in, and in the one that you're going to see, I will tell you that I combined findings from the other one. But Storytime Collection starts with the 14-inch 4 millicube plum faceted two-tone imitation gemstone electroplated glass. That is these. And they are, once again, clean out computer, trying to figure out this. You're probably not going to see how gorgeous they truly are on my camera. But the sparkle and the fast, amazing. This is the type of thing that I would use between bigger beads in a more subtle thing so it catches that sparkle. Okay? Second, she had the two-tone twist, and these are in imitation stone electroplated glass beads. Once again, beautiful. I have a little bit harder time with these. Would love for someone, Gina, if you watch this, with twist beads to give me some ideas about these because they are gorgeous. I think we all get into our own little space and sometimes shut out other things, and we shouldn't. Next, we have and this is one of my favorites. These are the bicones electroplated glass beads. This is going in my BBB collection for this month. I will tell you, the pieces I make for that, this is definitely going in there. The way it picks up the color, amazing. You put it next to something that's really pink. It sparkles, it shines, it reflects what you want to do. And when I use this piece, I am going to do it on some soft flex in pink to pull out that more. I am not so good that I could actually marry the pink and the Unakite together this month. So they're probably going to be a little bit different for me. Then we have, these are the freshwater pearl shell beads. Again, this is going to go in my Storytime collection for BB. Look at these. They're gorgeous. Gina has such an eye for color. It's amazing. Okay. Then we have the 1, 2, 3. We're down to D. The shell beads. Did that. English cuts. Oh. How could you not use the, I mean, They're stunning. I love her facets. But everything that Gina does is sparkly, and we all love sparkly. Then look at these. And obviously, I pulled all of these off the strand. These are draw bench glass beads. Stunning. And I don't think they would go real good with this month's BB, but I think you could make this for them if you did something green. This is one of my favorites in the box. We have the maple leaves, and we have the flowers. I'm going to show you one side and then show you the other. You know what? Let me move this out of the way. Maybe it would be better if I put it here. I'm sorry, ladies. You all know that this is a learning experience for all of us. Okay, so I put both sides up so you could see it. Again, stunning. I mean, how can you not make something from that? The colors are just beautiful. And that's what attracts me, the colors. I have a color, and then everything comes from there. Okay. Have problems with that shape too? Yeah. It is harder for me. I think that we get into our own space and do our own things. And yeah, my biggest thing I've done this year is make something with the pea green beads that I swore I hated. So, but at least I did that. These next. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We did the maple leaf pendants, flowers. Now we have the crystal beads here. Look at these. Look at how gorgeous and stunning they are. I'm pulling some from both collections because this is a bracelet that I'm dying to make. Again, working with cubes is going to be a little bit different with me, but because the color is so beautiful, I'm not going to have a problem with it. I mean, really, she really, really nails the colors. I don't know if you can, and once again, I'm not very technically good. We are going to get better at that before I do a channel of my own, but gorgeous. Then we have these, I call them pumpkin beads, these melons here. And I did mix them from both boxes so that you could see the colors. Because frankly, they would go together. I could totally design with both those colors. So they're beautiful. All right. Then these. These are the 5mm 5mm light rose alloy rhinestone beans. Would this not be beautiful on a piece of leather? Look at these. I mean, they're gorgeous. And once again, I am sorry that my focus isn't that great, my camera isn't that great. As I said, out of love, going to do it out of determination, and I'll have to learn to get better. Okay, then we have some of the findings in this one. I do like these little flower links. And I could see doing something very simple, very delicate, just doing those. What is it Sarah Lovecraft always says? It doesn't have to be difficult to make beautiful jewelry. It's all about what we do with the colors, with the shapes, how we put it together. And if we're happy with it, then you know what? Sorry, the hell with everybody else. I mean, that's not a great attitude if you want to sell. But I think that sometimes you have to, I'm coming to determine that what I need to sell may not necessarily be what I love to make. But if you want to sell, then you're going to have to work on that. The leaves are beautiful, aren't they, Dorothy? I mean, just stunning. Let me show you the ones in the other box. You've seen all the shapes. She has exactly the same shapes in the other box. Here's the leaves from and this is called Enchanted Forest. Amazing how we had Storytime Romance, Enchanted Forest. I did get the DD's box this month for the first time in probably 2 years. But look at these. Are they not beautiful? I mean, when you're looking at something that beautiful, it's not hard to design. They are, aren't they gorgeous? And I am dying to hear Gina's story. I texted her right before the show to say I was going to do her B-Box here. And like I said earlier, she doesn't do a subscription. It is, she puts her box up. You need to go subscribe to her, GGC Treasures, and she'll send you a notification of when things are going up. I just happened to be free at 3 o'clock on the, I think it was the 12th or 13th, whatever it was, when they went live, so I was able to snag one. So once again, I went through what the beads are earlier. I'm just going to kind of show you in the color what we've got here. Look at the rhinestone bead. Once again, I have a perfect leather pendant to go with that. The English cuts. I'm going to put my green and English cut and pink English cuts together. Okay? The cubes. These. What do you see? Circle everywhere. And it's all gorgeous. Then we have these. By pink, but this all matches perfectly with both of them. Then she has the charms pack. I'm going to kind of move these out of the way a little bit. I want to show you some of the charms she had in there. She did do in her findings, she always does a findings kit too, and in her findings I opened one, I didn't open the other just so I could show you. Is in this one she has the Coriana chain, which we have used frequently lately, and the clamshell connectors with it. I didn't look to see how long the Coriana chain was. Let's see it here. Oh, 1 meter. So it's 1 meter. Remember what I said earlier? 1 meter, 39 inches. Okay, so that's there. I want to show you the charms I love. And don't tell me we couldn't use this in our BBB story time. Love the crown. Love the heart. Love the crown. The lighthouse. There's more. Like I said, I got them in one box. Oh, and this. Rosanna, does this dragon need painting? What do you think? He's kind of small. I was just going to do him in silver. Do you think I need to paint him? I'm sorry, I'm not very good at looking at the chat. I'm trying to get better. Once again, this is a learning experience. But I do love the dragon in there. Okay. Then, we also have, I think I showed you these links for. Another lighthouse. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to get the lighthouse because I live at the beach and I'm probably going to make earrings out of it. We have keys. We have a beautiful pendant in there. I am not trying to encourage you to buy. Oh, somebody said there were still a few left, and that's amazing to me. But I wanted you to see what she has to offer. It is beautiful. She has great tutorials. So I could paint him. He looks like a Chinese dragon, so red. And Heather has more dragons. I want to use the dragon in the story time piece that we submit. Like I said, I talked to Rosanna. I had planned on doing that today. But when I saw the companion bundle and the things that came out with that, I didn't want to do it. And frankly, I'm going to include some things from this in that box. I just think that Gina does an absolutely amazing job. I can't even stay online for an hour without having problems. And you got these women out there curating, doing all these things with beads. It's amazing to me. When I first started, I kept bargain bead box, so I ordered one. Please don't laugh at me. But as soon as it came, I didn't realize that it was a curated box that you were going to make a unified piece of jewelry. So I looked at everything, and I said, oh, I'm going to put this in this box, and this in that box, and this in... No idea what I was doing. And it was so frustrating to me. It took me 3 months to try to learn how to crimp. In the meantime, I out and bought every tool, every piece of equipment I have, which is why one of the reasons I want to show things online, because I have a lot of stuff. Some could be useful, some not. Like I said, I had originally planned on making the multi-strand. I started working on what we're gonna do. Okay. I have some components here, but I am looking for ideas. I am thinking about, with mine, possibly doing, because in the companion bundle, they have that little chain. To me, that's a little bit fragile to try to hang any weight from. But I think what I want to do is use it as a strand between our strands. Okay? Oh my God, it's 1 o'clock. This is the first time, just because I was talking to y'all so much, that I actually didn't realize the time had gotten away. I did want to show you some multi-strand things, necklaces that I've made mistakes on, to talk about designing, how to do it. It is 1 o'clock. I do want to continue cleaning out my computer. Please do me a favor. Please, please hit like for Rosanna and let her know how much we all love her and appreciate her. I will be on with y'all one more day tomorrow, and then later in the week, Rosanna is going to let me come on her channel with her to do the multi-strand necklace. I appreciate you all. I love you. Remember, we are a community. We don't compete with one another. We're not taken away from one another. We can only help one another grow. I love you all. I hope you feel the same way that I do. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.